Hello and welcome to another Facts and Dimensions tutorial video. This is a two-part video, and this is the second part, all about adding the external tables that you're able to see in the Azure DB that we provision for you, but having those external tables in your own database on your own Azure server. The reason being that if you're using Azure, you'll have your own data in your own databases, like outpatients, inpatients data, or whatever it is you're doing. It's really handy to have the external tables in that database so you can use them in your joins when you're doing your queries. So in the first video that came before this one, video tutorial 12, I already showed you that you can just deploy an exact copy of the Azure database we've made using this wizard here, and we did that in that video and made this database, which is a copy of this one. Here I've made another database, an empty one, which is what is supposed to represent your own database that you have in your server, and I've put that on that server, Facts and Dimensions Dev. So we've got the original server, Facts and Dimensions. That's where you normally connect. This one, Facts and Dimensions Dev, that's what we use in-house. I'm using that as a placeholder. Obviously, in your situation, you would connect to whatever you've called your server. Then, to get it all working, what you need to do is you would go to the original database and script out elements. And this is generally the order you do it in. So first of all, start with the external data resources and script them out one by one. There are other ways of doing this, of course, using the generate scripts and whatnot, but this is how we're going to do it. So create to the clipboard. So I'm putting that in the clipboard. Then I'm going on to the different database where I want to add these external tables, and I run that. I've already done it actually for all of them, and they're here. So that's how you do it. You just script it out of here into a new query, which you run on your own database, and then make them appear there. Then the next thing you'd want to do in your database is you'll need to create the schema release details, like that, and then also create another schema called Azure, because you need them for some of the other objects we're about to add. So the next thing you'll be adding is these stored procedures. So you just script them out one by one. I've already done them, as you can see, but if you script them out from the original database to the clipboard, and then you just run it here. I just drop that procedure and then make it again, just so you can see. You can see that database has disappeared. Sorry, procedure. And now if I refresh again, it's there. So essentially, all I'm doing is I'm taking the objects from the existing database and making them on your database. Well, you'll be doing that. So I've done all the external reference data sources and the procedures. While you're at it, you may as well script out this function as well, the same way. So having got all that there, the next thing you'll need is the release details, so that you can get everything else needed. So whenever we deploy a new database for a customer, it comes with some tables already in there. It's these release details ones. Now that's quite a lot of tables. So having created the other objects, what you can do is right click on the original database and then generate scripts. Then click on schemas, and in tables just go down to release, the release details schema, and tick all of these. There you go. Click next. Now, ordinarily, when you're using this generate scripts, you would change these two settings, script indexes to true and script triggers to true. In this example, I'm only scripting out external tables, so there is no indexes and there is no triggers. God only knows why they set them to false as a default. But anyway, then we save that to the clipboard. While that's going, you will need, on the database you're about to make this on, you will need to run this script that I've got here. I said in the first video, but I'll repeat it for this video too. So you'd put in your username, in my case demo customer, but you'd put in your username, and here you wouldn't put in your password that you normally enter. You have to put in the password for the underlying base user that your user connects to. You can email us and we'll send you the password to put in there, as you'll already be a paying customer at this point. So you'd run that. If it doesn't work, then it might be that you have no master key on the database, and you can just create one using this command. Normal practice would be to do it with a password, but rather me advising, if you go to the create master key page in the Microsoft website and follow their instructions. I've just done it like this for the purposes of this demo, because I'm going to delete the database afterwards anyway. So it's made all of the scripts. It's in the clipboard. I'll just paste that, and you just run all that, and all the external tables you need would be there. I've actually already done it before, so we're just going to see them now. I suppose what we could do, rather than me running all of this, we could right, I just have that one table there, release details to all available tables. Oops. So if we delete this, okay, and then if I just run this, and you'll see it's, I'll have to refresh it now to approve it. And there it is again. So that is basically it. Now, this is probably the most complicated tutorial video that I've created, in the sense that I'm imagining as customers come along and use the video, there'll be little problems here and there. I've tried to foresee the problems in this video, but if you can let us know on the forum any problems you have, and that can be a place to actually sort of store information on issues and how to fix them for future customers. And if it turns out to be quite a few, or some obvious one that everyone keeps falling, any sort of obvious trap that people keep falling through, well, I'll just make a new video to replace this one. So let us know. But that is basically it. Thank you very much.